You need to try and pick off the units as... Look at the shields on the mark.
Oh my god, the drone's gonna take him!
Alright, here we are at the IGN Pro League. I am Artosis. Alongside me, my hetero nerd life partner, Tasteless.
Hey, nerd.
We're watching 6 Jacks ViBE. Right here's the Zerg top right against, right down here, Vile State as our Protoss in the bottom left. Before you go any further, get on Twitter and follow the IGN Pro League. It is IGN Pro League. And check them out, of course, on IGN.com/IPL. While you're at it, call me Tasteless and Artosis. Twitter is a wonderful place to be, and those will all tell you about these games.
Yep. So, with these two players here, it's the rubber match. We've seen, I think from the Protoss especially, a disappointing game in game number 2. Clearly, if the Protoss goes undisturbed, though, State goes undisturbed, he gives us a very great game. He's clearly very intelligent.
Yeah, he's taking some early game risks for late game rewards, and you can't really fault him too much for that. I mean, that's a reasonable way to play. ViBE kind of reading it this time, though. It's like, well, if you actually go one gate expand, I may make units and kill you, so watch out for that. So we'll see what he's going to do this time. Now, interestingly enough, Shakuras Plateau, normally you see Forge expands here by Protoss, but it looks like we're going to see some one base play by State. I was going to say one gate because he's making
not
a
an easy build to pull off. It's not an easy build to say, man.
Yeah.
StarCraft, a hard game in every respect. Mm-hmm. As you can see, State is scouting out his opponent. Says, "Well, there's no spawning pool. There must be a hatchery down here."
Yeah, and he sees it, and he's getting out of there, man, with his minerals. He's one of those smart probes, man. Sometimes probes mine minerals and they stay around like they can get more minerals. You can't. You can only carry 5 minerals unless they're gold. Then you can carry 7. Get out while the getting's good.
We don't see enough people actually mine that gold mineral on Zelnaga Caverns enough.
That's true.
It's a lot of money, man. You come back home with.
It is.
It is.
All right.
All right.
So he's scouting some more. Notice ViBE has no gas yet. And about this time, if they don't have gas by now in that pool, State should be realizing, oh, this is unbelievably economical. I can actually just chrono boost out stalkers and start harassing if I really want to. Or, just expand a little bit quicker, because basically without speed, Zerglings are never going to kill you.
Yeah, they're never going to, especially with stalkers, as you were mentioning before. Stalkers are so good. I mean, they're just so fast. You can kill off so much stuff.
The same speed as a Zergling, but they have range.
They got a gun, Artosis.
They got 2 guns, man.
The Zergling's a quadruped, dude. It can't use a gun.
What are those things that come up off it? It's got like claws, maybe. Yeah,
what comes up off it?
The Zergling. It has like the 4 legs, but it also has like these weird claw things, and then wings come out.
Well, that's his little Tyrannosaurus Rex arms.
Oh, okay.
He uses that for pinching his friend's nipples and doing other stuff,
Other things Zerglings like to do.
The things they need to do, yeah.
Well, a lot of drones for ViBE, just getting his first gas at about 26 supply. In the meantime, Droney running around, trying to scout what he can scout.
Droney McDrone. Yeah. Stressful day for him. He looks like a bit of a cone head in his portrait at the bottom right.
Yes, he does. Chopping up that paper. He's like, no, I don't want an apple.
Nom, 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 nom.
All right, we see it looks like it's going to be another 1-gate expand by ViBE, which I'm actually kind of surprised to see, I must say, because he did that before, and ViBE just retaliated with some aggression and slaughtered him off. And this is a map where you can forge expand very easily, but he is in fact going for the 1-gate expand, but again, with the very late speed coming out of ViBE, should be fine.
Well, here's the weird part about doing builds like this is I feel like this is a great build, but you cannot use it over and over and over again. It's a build with some holes.
That's exactly what State's doing, though, man.
Yeah.
Well, we'll see if that does, in fact, pay off. He isn't getting another gate. We have Evolution Chamber going up for ViBE. Good number of drones out there right now. He's up at 40 supply. Watching his larva inject. How do you feel about the Queen, Tasteless? the way it injects larva and then lays creep tubes.
I think it's hot, man.
Gross?
I think it's
I
sexy.
don't think it's gross. It's
No.
sexy to tasteless.
No, man. Especially when we got a couple queens and a face, they all start lesing out. You know what I mean? That's what I think are tasteless.
Well, now we all know the way tasteless is.
Yeah.
All right, a couple gateways, making a nice little wall, and I like. 30 probes against 34 drones. ViBE might want to get on top of a few more. I notice he does have 3 queens as well. So I gotta say I agree with that. I love the quick third queen, man.
Nice exchange here with these probes, well timed out. And, the Protoss economy is going to start picking up. As we saw, Zerg is expanding again. So it's your standard split map scenario.
Yeah.
And
2 base against 3 base. Well, it looks like he is going out to pressure.
yeah, he's going to do the same thing he did in game number 1. He's going to try to make his opponent make some more stuff.
Mm-hmm. Now remember, as soon as Zerg sees you, you have about 30 seconds to turn around because they're going to make a huge round of units to defend anything you're doing, and you do not want to get caught out in the open with 1 Zealot and 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 sentries. 7, by the way, the scariest number.
Yeah, it's a...
Do you know why, Tasteless?
Well, I saw the movie.
Because 7, 8, 9.
Ooh. All right, now the queen is actually exposed.
Oh, nice. Going after that queen and traps her. All right, nice move by
Nice.
ViBE. And takes out a creep tumor. Beautiful, but
All right.
probably should not. What are you doing? What are you doing?
He's overextending
You gotta be
himself.
careful here. Because if those
Well, it's
are
just
all full
it's
of
7
units-
sentries and a zealot.
Yeah, and
You know what I
you got to be so careful. Look at this. A lot more Zerglings, some of them going out to try to... Oh, a nice flank there, and not even using force fields. Now using them, but there's too many units outside, trapping everything, and 7 sentries going down a complete waste. A huge, huge mistake by State.
Sometimes I feel like these non-Korean Protosses don't have a full grasp on what exactly the sentry is there for, and why you can't ever afford to lose it.
You can't. I mean, 7 sentries, man. Thrown away for nothing. Killing the queen was beautiful, and if he runs away after that, hey man, your opponent's making a ton of units that aren't going to be useful. You've killed his queen.
Right.
You've killed a creep tumor. You should feel good about yourself. But instead, he just throws them away, adding a bunch of gateways. Now, that's probably the right choice.
He's going to do an all-in, it looks like.
You may as well, man. You lose that many sentries. Look at that. No extra gases at the expand yet. He can't replace them, and without replacing your sentries, you have no long game potential against Zerg.
All right. Let's see where we go from here. We do have a Spire on the way. And I think Zerg right now is probably going to drone up for a little bit and continue to push out his creep. He is getting his second gas at his expansion. So he's going to have a pretty healthy economy. He's going to be able to make a lot of Mutalisks.
66 drones at the moment, in fact, against 50 probes. So he's doing a good job with that. Spreading that creep, as you said, Tasteless. And I wonder if he's going to go pure Muta. Looks like State, oh my, he is going to go for a Zealot Stalker build here.
Note he's walled himself in, so he doesn't want to be counterattacked.
Yeah.
All the attention's going to be on the Zealot Stalkers. He does have 1 observer, so he can take out creep.
Now, Tasteless, he is making just so many Zealots and Stalkers. This is kind of interesting because normally an attack of this size, you're going to look at it and know how much damage it can do. But this one actually does more damage, but takes more because there's no sentries. Just that single sentry in there. So this is going to be packing a big punch, so ViBE has to be ready for that, but no long-term potential, once again, because of the lack of sentries.
Well, it's just an all-in.
Yeah.
But, it's a very scary all-in. It's very strong, and if Zerg doesn't deal with it properly, this game's going to end with a Protoss victory and Zerg kicking himself.
Absolutely. Now we do see State walking forward. That is a lot of Zealots. ViBE has to be careful there. State needs to keep his Zealots in between the Zerglings and the Stalkers. Does not want to let those Stalkers get hit by Zerglings. And the nice micro by ViBE running away and trying to get his Zerglings around those Stalkers, and he actually does it, doing a lot of damage to these Stalkers. That's going to help the Mutas take them out, and if all the Stalkers are dead Tasteless, the Mutas will just clean up everything. But they died.
But they just gave up. We've seen ViBE that happened to him before, where he doesn't pull his Mutalisks out, just like in game number 1. This is looking pretty bad, but again, Zerg does have a lot of Mutas on the way, 9 total, and it looks like for the time being, Protoss State is basically sending mostly Zealots to reinforce her. We saw 4 more come up there. This may be a mistake.
Yeah, it may, ViBE is going to be kicking himself for not having a Baneling Nest, too. Baneling Nest will clean this up in 2 seconds. But we do have some mutas here now. Can he take out all the stalkers? That's exactly what he needs to do. 4 more mutas on the way, 14 zerglings as well. And really, those zealots should be targeting a little bit better. Maybe send him up into the main base as he is doing now, finally. Target some of these tech structures, especially that spire. And with only 2 stalkers left, it's just a matter of time before all these zealots are out of here.
It's a lot of zealots, though, Artosis. We did see a transfusion there on the spire. Zerg with, again, 2 additional bases at the bottom, which are not being bothered at all. The zealots now trying to go down for the layer, so the Zerg cannot remake the spire.
Will he get it? No, it doesn't look like it. That is a lot of mutas, and the drones helping out as well, making their citizens arrest.
Oh my god.
The militia drones killing off some zealots, or at least damaging them a bit. Another spire going down, but there's a lot of units out for ViBE right now. 69 supply for our Protoss player. And, well, 104 for ViBE. So ViBE right now is in a very, as you could say, commanding lead.
Yeah, ViBE almost lost it there. I think that Zerglian surround where he got a lot of the stalkers early on really changed the landscape of this game. And now ViBE is on the map. I don't know if Protoss has a lot of options, Artosis.
He has no options, I would say, Tasteless. I mean, he's got +1 attack. That's the only late-game thing he has right now. And nothing else, man. And it looks like taking out this pylon. There's no sentries to help out here, so those Zerglings will get in. Down goes the Forge. No more late-game potential there. And with the mutas and lings, man, these stalkers not going to be so good. The zealots coming down to help out. But the lings can just withdraw like they are right now. And State just continues to make zealots and stalkers, and that is not... Again, this is just so completely all in.
Well, his tech tree is in the Stone Age now. I mean, there's really not much else he can do.
He is basically just learning to make fire, a.k.a. putting up the Twilight Council. And, I mean...
Maybe he'll get the wheel after that, Zealots with Charge or Blink.
Yeah, it's getting Blink. There you go, man.
There you go.
Starting that, those primeval wheels. And a Dark Shrine is going up. Now, these mutas going to be able to run amok, killing off some zealots, killing off whatever they can, really. There's no blink, so can't really be stopped. Stalker's coming over to get them. ViBE, in the meantime, is making a ton more mutas. 12 more on the way, 2 more gases on the way. Retaking is natural. ViBE in great, great shape. And there's nothing really left for State. Oh, God, he's making a robotic spay now. And here's the thing. Colossus are really good, Tasteless, but... Zerg's not to deal with Colossus nowadays. If you're behind you go Colossus, I feel like it's just not a winning strategy.
Well, yeah, Colossus is good if you're either ahead or if you're about even. And, it kind of changes. Well, hold that thought, Artosis. We could analyze all day, but here comes the cavalry moving in here.
Yeah, roaches on horseback, the scariest thing you ever saw.
That's right, pretty bad.
They are coming right in, and he's going to want to go ahead and kill those stalkers down with the roaches as soon as possible. A ton of mutas, quite a flock in here, and there just is very little left for State to do. So few left that the mutas can take them out alone, but there are roaches as well. The Dark Shrine finish up 54 Zerglings and a Baneling Nest on the way. GG and GL, says Vile State.
In the future games of this tournament.
Yeah, man. So ViBE has won this match 2-1 over State. Very well played. And thank you for watching. We have been Tasteless and Artosis. In fact, we still are Tastosis at Casting Archon in the IPL.